Dr. Jocelyn Elders served as U.S. Surgeon General under President Bill Clinton, and she joins us now from Little Rock, Arkansas. Dr. Elders, you are quoted in the New York Times I read yesterday. It's very interesting. You said, "We consume far more dangerous drugs that are legal, cigarette smoking, nicotine, and alcohol. We need to lift the prohibition on marijuana." That's a pretty bold statement. Many people think that you're wrong, that it would be make a bad situation worse. What do you say to that?
Well, I don't think it would make a bad situation worse. I don't think much could be worse than the present situation that we have, when we have the highest number of people in the world being criminalized, many for non-violent crimes related to marijuana. And when marijuana has never caused anybody directly to die. It's not a toxic substance that would cause people to die. And I just think that we could, as was said earlier, we can use our resources so much better. And I think we need to legalize marijuana for adults and tax it so we can use the money for much better things. Make it such that you can't smoke around children or in front of children. You can't sell it. It's illegal to sell it to children. And I just think that this is the thing that we should do, rather than grabbing up young people, throwing them in prison. They lose their opportunity to ever get a federal scholarship, and that's just, to me, that's just wrong.
But what about the health concerns? What about possible secondhand smoke and all of those concerns?
Well, I think, we still smoke around children. We have secondhand smoke. We have alcohol. The most marijuana is not addictive, physically addictive anyway. And the most addictive substance we've got out there is nicotine.
Yeah, so listen, I'm going to ask you this. If it were legalized, would you do it?
Would I do?
Would you smoke marijuana if it was legalized?
Well, I've never smoked marijuana when it wasn't legal. I don't think, when you get my age, you aren't going to start something new. So I don't think I would smoke marijuana now. I don't smoke cigarettes. I never smoked cigarettes. And so, but I don't think, what I think is horrible about all of this is that we criminalize young people, and we use so many of our excellent resources, police resources, for things that's really not causing us any problem.
It seems that there are a lot of people out there who are making judgments about marijuana, and it's kind of the similar arguments that we made during Prohibition about alcohol. But a lot of people who are not sure of the effects of marijuana, maybe they haven't tried it themselves, and they're coming to these preconceived notions about it. What do we talked about the health effects of it, but what about causing violence or causing people to become complacent and all of those issues?
Well, now, I think the complacency issue may have merit. There is no problem. Nobody says that marijuana causes violence, whereas we know alcohol can certainly cause much more aggressiveness. If you go out in the streets, you aren't as likely to hurt somebody from using marijuana as you are using alcohol. As far as your own personal health concerns, it says it's never caused any death. It's never caused anybody to die that we know about directly from the physical parts of marijuana. But we may become more complacent, not think as well, and many people say, well, it creates a lot of zombies. Well, heaven knows alcohol creates zombies too when they get so much.
Well, Doctor, I want to ask you this real quick before we go. Mexico, obviously on our border, the situation there is turning into a war zone. What's the impact on Mexico if recreational marijuana is in fact legalized here?
I think it would reduce the money that goes to the drug cartels in Mexico because it would be legal. We could tax it, and we wouldn't have to depend on Mexico's drug cartel, who's now getting all of the money. And I understand we consume $14 billion a year in California. They could tax it and make $1.4 billion in tax money, which they could use for recreational parks, health, or other things that are much more useful than out there having shootouts in the street.
Former Surgeon General of the United States, Dr. Jocelyn Elders, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
A pleasure. Thank you for having me.
What you say? Do I get that little kiss What you say? Must you let me down like this? Time's a wasting. What's it all about? I just want to know whether I'm in or out. What you say? Don't your future mean a thing? What you say to saying okay?